Hey, welcome back to Scare Talk. I am Danny and I'm here with Billy the Puppet. Yeah. Welcome back to Scare Talk. We have got something to talk about. It's a brand new just headline. It just came out. Saw has been sold to guess who? Blumhouse. Of course. You knew that was going to be the answer. So, reading from Deadline here, Blumhouse acquiring Saw rights from Twisted Pictures. In a deal that will bring James Wan back in touch with the mega horror IP he created, we hear from several sources that Blumhouse is acquiring the prospective rights to Twisted Pictures' portion of the Saw franchise. In short, Blumhouse essentially is taking over the IP ownership from Twisted's Mark Berg and Orrin Knowles or Orrin Coles. Lionsgate will continue to be involved as a partner and, in fact, owns 50% of the franchise. As of this time, there isn't development on another movie yet. Wan directed the first Saw film in 2004, co-wrote with Lee Winnell. Wan remains an EP on remaining Saw movies. So basically, what happened is they bought Twisted Pictures' portion of the Saw franchise, which is essentially the IP, and Lionsgate still owns 50%. And Blumhouse and Lionsgate have been partnering, so this isn't a huge surprise. When we found out that Saw 11 was either being delayed or just not happening at all, I was kind of curious about, we had heard about the Blumhouse and Lionsgate partnership, and I was like, I wonder if something's going on there to where we might see a Blumhouse Saw movie in the future. And, we can see two different things here, I think. Two most likely scenarios when it comes to the next Saw film, which will eventually be made and come out. Maybe, sooner than we thought now that this news has come out. I thought Saw was kind of going to be dead for a few years at least. But maybe we'll get something rather soon. So it can go one of two ways. We can continue the route we've been going with Blumhouse, which is not good. And we can get a run-of-the-mill, paint-by-numbers Saw film. This franchise is no stranger to some pretty terrible movies. So it's not beneath Saw to have a pretty run-of-the-mill film in the franchise. Saw 10 was definitely one of the best, and to follow it up with Saw 11 being kind of like the other ones or worse would be such a shame, because we're massive Saw fans over here at Scare Talk and have been since the first film came out. And I'm kind of excited about this news, but then, what I just said. Blumhouse might not be the best studio to take it on. I don't know what other studio would make sense. Maybe like Shudder or something. Maybe I don't know. I can't see like A24 or Neon or anything like that for Saw. So anyways, but so it could be that it could be just run of the mill. The franchise has gotten so convoluted and confusing, and all the different apprentices and all the and John Jigsaw died in the third film. Now we're getting on to number 11. 10 was like in between 1 and 2, and so the storyline and the timeline is just all over the place here. So Blumhouse buying it could put out a cheap Saw movie, get people to see it, and then just shelf it, just get a really big money making film and then, see how it goes. Because everybody's going to want to see a new Saw film, especially after Saw 10. But this is what I'm hoping for. James Wan, as that article said, James Wan is, he owns Atomic Monster. He's been partnering with Blumhouse. What if James Wan came back to direct a new Saw film? What if he wrote and directed a new Saw film? What if him and Lee Winnell wrote and directed Saw 11 for Blumhouse? That would be amazing. I would be so excited. That would be my most anticipated horror film probably ever. I love the first Saw, and we haven't gotten that team for any movie since. And that team was magic. So if they bought Saw because James Wan wants to get back in the driver's seat, and Lee Winnell maybe potentially too, then Lee Winnell's already worked with Blumhouse with Wolfman and Invisible Man. So let's do Saw. James Wan, Lee Winnell, sign on the dotted line because it's time to make a Saw film. That'd be amazing. I think that would be the best case scenario when it comes to this news. I don't know how likely it is that that'll happen. It's Saw 11 or whatever they end up calling it. So I don't know that James Wan wants to have his name on the 11th film. But, I don't know the guy. Maybe he doesn't have that kind of attitude. Maybe it doesn't matter to him if it's Saw 11 or Saw 38 or, most of the time as you get down the line in your sequels and you get up to 10, 11, you get up there and it's like, okay, let's get those no-name directors to jump on board and, try to make the 12th film in a horror franchise. It's just ridiculous. So if we can get a big name like a James Wan to come back and, go back to his roots where it all started for him, that would be huge. That would be so big. Saw is, arguably the biggest horror franchise of this millennium, of this century. You think about it, came out in, what was it, 2003 or 4? 2004, I think, was the first one. 21 years later, we've had 10 films, potentially an 11th film. The last one, the 10th one, was a big success. A lot of fans liked it. A lot of skeptics even said, hey, that was good. What other franchise has that kind of staying power and has made that kind of impact in horror this century? I don't think you can really point to anything else other than Saw. So if James Wan comes back, this is a perfect way to bring him back. So please do it, Blumhouse. Please do it. And let's get Saw off the ground again. Let's let this guy get back on the big screen because I can't wait to play another game with Jiggy Jigsaw. It was announced that the 11th film was scrapped. And basically, Saw is done. It was like all doomsday once that news came out. But then there were other posts on Saw pages oh, the game isn't over. The game is never over. And there was even a Billy the Puppet video that came out with Jigsaw's voice. The game is never the game never ends, or something like that. And then there, I don't remember who it was, but it was one of the creators has been posting over the last couple of weeks these like cryptic pictures and all this weird stuff, but like I don't know. They were supposed to, with these are, it said there's going to be an announcement soon or something. He might have even put a date on there, and it might be today. I don't know. I don't remember. But I mean, I'm guessing this is what he's referring to. So, I don't think Blumhouse is taking this lightly. I don't think the creators of Saw are taking this lightly. I think that they're going to probably jump onto something pretty quick here. Blumhouse doesn't really waste time when they acquire things. So let's do it. Let's do it. But I got to know, what do you guys think? I'm down for it. I think you got to bring John Kramer back for one more, though, especially if James Wan's doing it. He has to be the main character, just like he was in Saw 10. Let's give him a great movie where he's scary again, but you still kind of root for him like you did in Saw 10. I would love all of that. I know he's definitely very old now. I think he's in his 80s. Tobin Bell, I wouldn't blame you if you don't do another one, but man, with this news, and if James Wan is directing or writing or both, I really hope that Tobin Bell can get back in front of the camera and be Jigsaw one more time. Now, if it's some other director, some other writer, you know what, Tobin, it's been real. I wouldn't blame you for not jumping in that film. But yeah, if it's James Wan, it's gotta happen. It's gotta happen, Tobin. What do you guys think of the news? What do you think is next for Saw? Is Blumhouse going to screw it up? Is this just a cash grab, an IP grab to just make some money on merchandise or something? Like, what are we doing? Are they even going to use the Saw IP for films? Is there going to be a TV show? What do you guys think? Video games? Come on, give me all your ideas. Put it down in the comments. Please subscribe to our channel. We really, really appreciate it, especially when you hit those notification bells. Then you get notified when we put out a new episode. You should have seen the Black Phone 2 trailer reaction. That came out recently. And that reminds me of another thing I was thinking of. The Black Phone 2 trailer, that's a Blumhouse film. And it looks really intense. It looks like it's actually going to try to scare you. And it looks like it's going to be pretty violent. So, Blumhouse maybe still has some balls. So maybe they're going to be on a nice upward slant here as they've acquired Saw. And maybe we'll catch them on a good upswing when they actually make the film. So, but it was just a trailer. Looks good though. So yeah, go watch that video trailer reaction for Black Phone 2 and look out for all the upcoming films and their reviews. And if a new big trailer drops or some big news drops, you got to come to Scare Talk to see how we feel about it. All right, guys, we'll talk to you later.